You know that feeling when you read a line of poetry or maybe hear a famous speech and you think to yourself, wow, that sounds amazing, but like nobody actually talks like that. Well, guess what? It's not an accident. There's a secret writer's trick going on, and today we're going to unlock it together.
Take this line from Shakespeare, for example. Sweet are the uses of adversity. It's beautiful, no doubt, but it sounds a little, well, backwards, doesn't it? I mean, in a normal conversation, you'd probably say, the uses of adversity are sweet. So, what's up with that?
And that right there, that's the big question we're going to solve. That feeling of elegance mixed with a little bit of strangeness, that is totally intentional. It's a choice writers make to grab your attention and, honestly, to make their words sing. And I promise, you've seen this a million times before, even if you didn't have a name for it. Okay, so let's pull back the curtain. This whole word flipping thing isn't a mistake. It's a really powerful tool with a proper name. It's all about intentionally breaking the rules of grammar to create a very specific artistic effect. The technique is called inversion. Or, if you want to sound really fancy, you can call it anastrophe. But all it really is rearranging a sentence. You take the normal word order and you just flip it around to achieve something special. Maybe you want to add emphasis, create a certain rhythm, or get a rhyme to land just right. So here's how it works. Most English sentences follow a super basic pattern, right? Subject, then verb, then object. Like, the dog chased the ball. Simple. But with inversion, you flip that whole structure on its head. You might start with the object or an adjective and push the subject way to the back. Just look at this comparison. I have never seen such beauty. Totally fine, totally normal. But then look at the inverted version. Such beauty have I never seen. Whoa. It feels bigger, more dramatic, doesn't it? The meaning is exactly the same, but by shoving such beauty right up front, the writer forces you to focus on it. The feeling is completely different. Okay, so now we know what it is. The next question is, how do we spot it out in the wild? Well, I'm going to give you a super simple toolkit, a little spotter's guide you can use anytime you're reading. Let's crack it open. All right, here are your 4 key tools. First, what I call the sounds poetic test. Just ask yourself, would I actually say this out loud to a friend? If the answer is heck no, you're probably looking at inversion. Second, the reorder it test. See if you can unscramble the words back into a normal sentence. Third, for the grammar fans, look for the verb showing up before its subject. And finally, number 4, just watch out for sentences that start weirdly, like with an adjective or a long descriptive phrase that pushes the main subject later on. Okay, toolkit ready? It is time to put these tricks to the test. Let's look at a few examples and see if we can spot the inversion together. This is where it gets fun. Here we go. First one. Gone are the days of youthful spring. Go on. Try that reorder it test in your head for a second. Can you flip it back? Notice the verb are comes before the subject, the days. That's a huge giveaway right there. And there you have it. The normal, everyday way to say this is, the days of youthful spring are gone. But by starting with gone, the writer just hits you immediately with that powerful feeling of loss. It's so much more impactful. Let's try another one. In the silent garden stood the old house. See how this one starts with that long phrase, in the silent garden? That's a big clue from our toolkit. That's step 4, an unusual beginning that shoves the real subject to the end. The normal sentence is just, the old house stood in the silent garden. But by inverting it, the writer makes us wait. We get the setting first, this creepy, silent garden, which builds up the atmosphere before we even know what we're looking at. It feels way more cinematic that way. Okay, one more for practice. Bright was the moon on that silent night. What's the very first word? Bright. It's an adjective. That's another one of those telltale signs right from our spotter's guide. Yeah, the regular version is, the moon was bright on that silent night. But putting bright at the very beginning, that makes that quality the single most important piece of information. You immediately picture this brilliant, shining moon. It's all about emphasis. So we know what inversion is, and we know how to find it. But this leaves the biggest question of all. Why? Why do writers bother to break the rules of grammar like this? Well, like with pretty much everything in good writing, it is never just for show. There's always a purpose behind it. As we've seen, it's an amazing tool for emphasis. It also helps create a specific rhythm, a musical quality in a line. Sometimes, honestly, it's just a practical choice to make a rhyme scheme work. It can also make the tone feel more formal or dramatic or even a bit old-fashioned. And you know what else? By breaking our normal reading pattern, it forces us to slow down and really pay attention to the words. So really, the main takeaway is this. Inversion isn't about being confusing or weird. It's about bending the rules of grammar to build something more beautiful, more rhythmic, and way more meaningful. It's a tool that adds incredible layers of depth to language. Just think about this last one. Such silence had the world never known. Can't you just feel the power in that sentence? The emphasis is all on that profound, overwhelming silence. It's just a perfect example of inversion doing what it does best. So now you've got the toolkit. You're officially an inversion spotter. The next time you're reading a poem, a play, maybe even listening to song lyrics, keep your eyes and ears open for it. Now that you know the secret, where are you going to find it next?